Yeah, they're huge. We got to make those plays. And I know you referred to the penalties to begin with. Just it's not good enough. We got to collectively look at it, take a hard look at the tape. What's legit? What isn't? Because it's always there's always telling. From a discipline standpoint, though, that can't happen. It can't. It puts you behind the sticks, and it just puts us behind before we even get started. So it's wasn't good enough in that way. Offensively, I thought much better in the run game. I was proud of the way that they responded from the last couple of weeks. Brees going over 100 yards, 20 carries, 119 yards, 6 a carry. That's winning football, in my opinion, from a run game perspective. I thought the passing game was exceptional as well. 7 explosive passes, 24 for 36, 296 yards. Now, where do we need to get better? The red zone efficiency, as we all saw. We got to be able to finish those drives and get points every single time. From a defensive perspective, just not the start that we're accustomed to having from this defense, so we got to have more urgency in all that we do. I thought we made a strong emphasis of this week. We will continue to do that, but it wasn't good enough to start. We made a huge emphasis on stopping the run, knowing that they'd be committed to it. It's kind of been the signature of the Bills' offense this season, and we did not do that. 150 yards, 4.7 a carry, 4 explosives. That's not winning football from a defensive perspective. And that's on me. That's on every player. That's on every coach. That's on all of us. It's a collective thing, and we'll get that fixed. From a passing game standpoint, too many yards, and I thought there was opportunities to get the ball off them, which we did not take advantage of. Special teams, I thought the cover units were good, strong. Eccles getting the holding call. The return game was going. I thought Isaiah had a nice return, so did X. So from that standpoint, happy about the special teams. Where we got to get better, when we got scoring ops, we got to score. And this entire locker room, this entire organization, and I'd hope this entire fan base has great belief in Greg. And we're going to have winning moments in this season where he'll win games for us. We know that, and I believe that 100%. Injury-wise, Chuck had the ankle, Chuck Clark. DJ had the groin, both of which did not return. And then Mike Williams, he had the head. So he'll be assessed, obviously, tonight and tomorrow as well. So with that, I'll take some questions.
You mentioned the penalties there. Yep. Can you just go into a little bit more detail on third? I think it was 11 for like 110 or something like that.
Yeah, this is something I got to take a hard look at, because there's some always that are going to be legitimate. And the ones that are legitimate, we got to take a hard look at. How are we coaching it? Is it a technical thing? Is it a reoccurring thing that just needs to be remedied and we have to shine a light on? So it's going to be a hard look at the tape, and because ultimately that is not winning football, and it puts us behind the sticks and destroys drives on offense and it extends drives on defense. So can't happen.
Jeff, the first drive they came out, we're kind of running it down your guys' throat a little bit. Like how frustrating was it to start the game off like that?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not the standard of this defense. No man in there would say that. It's just not. We're just not accustomed to it. There were some communication errors. There's definitely some times where I could have put them in better calls, and then there was some assignment errors. So it wasn't the defense that we're accustomed to, especially against the run.
You mentioned Greg.
We've all seen what he's done here in the last few years.
Yep.
But he missed a couple in the preseason, missed one against New England, missed a big one against Denver, and then 2 here tonight that would have won you the game. I mean, do you guys have to be concerned about him right now?
I mean, everything you take a hard look at, but I'm not concerned with Greg. I know the track record of this man, and I know he's going to catch his rhythm here, and we're going to roll.
I know you were entirely on the defensive side of the ball for 2 of these games, but now head coach for one of them. This is now 3 straight where the offense has had the ball, go down the field, score a touchdown, win the game, and they haven't been able to do it. What is holding you guys back from finishing it on that side of the ball?
All right. Well, part of that was penalties again. There was multiple penalties on that last drive. We got to find a way to get it done. So that's just another thing we got to shine a light on and see, what are we calling? Is it the calls? Is it the whatever it is? And we got to fix it and fix it fast.
What did you think of Aaron overall tonight?
I thought he did a great job. I thought that, the Buffalo Bills defense is excellent in a lot of ways, and especially from their coverage standpoint. And they're very well coached, and they're difficult to score points on. And I thought he did a very nice job of taking kind of what they gave him, and made him pay at times. But we got to get better. We do.
What was it like at halftime after
touchdown there?
You know, those are those moments where, like, you want to grab that momentum and just run with it, you know, and unfortunately we didn't. You know, it's, you know, we're fortunate we have the best Hail Mary thrower in the history of this game. And he made somebody pay again, and when you catch those waves of momentum, you got to ride it, and you got to finish a team, which we didn't do.
What was tonight like for you? Just, you know, your first time, and was it challenging overseeing everything when you're used to just calling the defense?
Yeah, it was a different challenge for sure. I mean, just calling the game is a challenge in itself. Fortunately, a great support staff. I got eyes above me, constantly in my ear, talking to me and guiding me. So it was a challenge, but it was not overwhelming by any means.
Jeff, at 2-4 now.
Yep.
This isn't really early anymore, right? I mean, is there a sense of urgency about this team right now that you guys have to turn this thing around?
I think there's always a sense of urgency. There has to be. You know, that's just the nature of this league. But at the same time, 2-4 is we are by no means out of this thing. By no means. I know the character of that locker room. I know the way we will respond. I know that. I thought this week's process was right. I thought the way we were prepared was exceptional. You know, and we got to start stacking these weeks of exceptional preparation, and I promise you, it'll start to pay off on Sundays.
Just confirming, Jeff, is that you will then continue head coach and calling the defense like you thought you were going to continue doing that?
Yeah, and I think I'll just get better as we go, for sure.
Jeff, with the run defense, you talked about the standard, but last year and this year, like the San Francisco game, the Denver game, Tennessee game, to a degree, it hasn't been good.
Right.
So what is the standard, and why are there so many big chunk runs against this defense in too many games? Right. We need to find a way to be more aggressive in the run game. That's what it comes down to. We play a style of defense that at times we're limiting explosive plays, and we're umbrelling things, and we're keeping in front of us. There's times where we got to abandon that and really get after people. And I'll take a hard look at our scheme. I'll take a hard look at how we call it, and take a hard look at the people that we got in there. So the combination of all those things, we can fix it, and we will.
What can you say about how the operation was with Todd calling plays?
I thought it went very smooth. I thought he did a great job. He called with urgency. He called with confidence. I thought he had a good plan, and he executed the plan.